Welcome into DRF Daily, DRF Sports' betting live stream, coming at you every single weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern. My name is Jack Fitzpatrick. We're trying to build upon yesterday's 3-1 record, trying to make up for last week's subpar, I guess we could say subpar week. We have plenty of MLB action as per usual. NHL's over, NBA's over. It's all MLB all the time. So we have 3 great games to break down some of our best bets. And then we have our featured free game of the day between the Astros and the Mets. And just as a reminder, you can check out all of this data at drf.com/sports. Go ahead and click the subscribe button up in the top right corner. Not only will you get access to all of our free games outside of just the featured free games, you'll get access to every single free game. You'll get access to our DRF Sports Rundown, our daily newsletter Monday through Friday, hitting your inboxes around 4 p.m., giving you all of the latest trends, line movements, and best bet of the day. And you get a lot more. You'll be in with the DRF crowd, as you know, the young kids say. You can follow us on Twitter at DRF_sports. And if you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, like, subscribe, follow as well. We'd be greatly appreciative. This is DRF Daily, and it's going to be a fantastic Tuesday after a 3-1 Monday. So without further ado, let's break down the games we have coming into this one. We're breaking down Braves, Phillies to start, going to Reds, Cubs. A fantastic breakdown between two subpar teams, I guess you could call them. And then we go Dodgers, Rockies. That's going to be a really fun game. I'm excited to break that one down. And then last but not least, Astros, Mets. So if you want to make some money, if you want to hit it big, our record is winning by, I think we're up 5 games above 500. And that's a little swayed after last week's couple bad days. So I think overall, you throw out those outlier days, we're hitting pretty regularly. So if you want to make some money, stick around, listen to all of these games, including the featured free game between the Astros and Mets coming up in just a little bit. So Braves, Phillies, we're going to start with that one. Braves head to Philadelphia. The Phillies are -115. The total is set at 8. Both teams, and this is going to be kind of a trend, I think, for all games except for one, both teams are coming in with a day of rest. Phillies won their series at San Diego. Braves lost theirs at home against the Dodgers. Now the Braves go on the road. Phillies go back home for this one. Braves 3-5 this season. Against the spread, coming off of a day of rest. Phillies 3-3. So neither team really takes advantage of that day of rest exceptionally well. In the case of the Braves, you almost lean against Atlanta because they do have a losing record coming off of a day of rest. Philly 14-15 though this season as a home favorite. So not a great record. 1 game under 500, can't even hit 500 as a home favorite. And on top of that, Braves are 10-2 this season, 10-2 as a road underdog. So they're sitting here at +105 right now, and they are the road underdog. So maybe there's a little bit of value on the Braves at +100, +105, wherever you're finding it. Phillies have moved down from -115 to -110. However, our power line thinks there's some value there as it sets this at -147. And our Sims think the Phillies win this one by 1. Atlanta's going to send out Charlie Morton to the bump. Philadelphia got Zach Wheeler. Morton is 4-3 with a 4.84 ERA. Team is 8-6 when he starts. Kind of the same exact thing for Wheeler, except his ERA is much lower, 2.77, 6-4, but the team is 7-6 when he starts. 1.56 ERA over his last 3. That's Wheeler. So he's been really solid, allowed 13 hits, just 3 earned over his last 3 starts, and struck out 19 over those 3 starts. So a lot of momentum in favor of Zach Wheeler and the Phillies, and they're coming off an 8-5 win on Sunday, and the Phillies are 7-0 straight up this season after scoring 8 or more runs. So give me the Phillies -115. I know a lot of what I said there kind of favors the Braves. They've performed really well as a road underdog. Phillies haven't performed well as a home favorite, but here we are sitting in a day of rest coming into this game, essentially brand new series. I like the Phillies to win this game, and I'm not going to fade the numbers. And that's something I say a lot of the time. I'm just not going to fade the numbers here. Last week, I faded the numbers quite often. It bit me in the butt. And so today I'm going Phillies minus 115. If they lose this game, I'm okay with that. But the Phillies, they have some better statistics. The numbers are favoring them. The money's going on Atlanta right now. I'm going to fade the public. Give me Phillies minus 110. I like them to start this series off with a win at home. And get to 15-15 as home favorites this season because against the spread, because they haven't performed exceptionally well this season against the spread, or really even straight up at home so far this season. And then moving from Braves, Phillies, we're going to Reds, Cubs. The Cincinnati Reds, they travel to Chicago, good old Wrigley Field. Total is set at 8.5. The Cubs favored minus 110. Reds come in with a 25-47 record, really setting the world on fire. I think that's the second worst record in the MLB, only better than the Athletics, but the Athletics are trying to lose their entire fan base this season, apparently. Cubs come in with a 28-45 record. Remember just a few seasons ago when the Cubs broke the streak and won the World Series, and now here they are sitting at 28-45 and looking bad. Cubs minus 110. This is an 8:05 p.m. first pitch. Cincinnati will be sending out Luis Castillo to the mound. The Cubs, Keegan Thompson. And I'm going to give out the pick right at the top. Reds are winning this game. Reds plus 100. This is a certified gold star pick. Our Sims like the Reds. Our power line likes the Reds. Everything is in favor of the Reds. Both teams coming in with a day off. Cubs are coming off of a 6-5 win and series win against the Cardinals. The Reds coming off of a 10-3 win against the Giants and the series win against San Francisco. Both of these teams, who knew that both of these teams would be coming into this game with series wins? That's absolutely insane. They're two of the worst teams in baseball. You're telling me they both beat up on good teams, the Cardinals and the Giants? That's mind-boggling to me. Reds come into this one 5-6 against the spread when they have a day of rest. Chicago 3-4. So kind of like the game before, neither team really takes a lot of advantage of coming off of a day of rest. Both teams under 500, one game under 500 with a day of rest. Reds this season are 18-17 against the spread as road underdogs. I like them to win outright, though, not just cover the 1.5 run line. I think they can come into this one and beat the Cubs in Wrigley. Cubs are not great. I mean, neither are the Reds. Cubs and Reds, two of the worst teams. I've said it a few times. But the fact that they're solid despite being terrible at covering on the road as underdogs, as a 1.5 run line, I kind of like them there. Castillo this season, he also is the better pitcher in this matchup. Yes, he's 2-4. He is the worst win-loss, but his ERA is much better. 3.71 ERA on the season, and he has a 2.7 ERA when he's on the road. Keegan Thompson, on the other hand, 4-2, so that's a plus, but he has a 4.37 ERA, and he can get hit. Top that with the Cubs don't perform well against good pitchers this season. They don't perform well, especially against pitchers who allow less than half a home run per start. Luis Castillo allows just 0.44 home runs per start this season. And the Cubs are 1-12 straight up in home games against pitchers that don't allow home runs. So give me the Reds at plus 105. It's plus 105 now. Look at this. If you go certified gold star pick, drf.com/sports, get all of this information. If you subscribe monthly, quarterly, or yearly, you can get all of this fantastic information included with the fact sheets. But the Cubs are minus 115. When I wrote this an hour ago, they were minus 110. So the Reds have gone from plus 100 to plus 105. A lot of the money going on the Cubs. I don't agree with that. Let's look at some quick line movements. Not a lot of information has come in terms of where the money is sitting, but give me the Reds in this one. You look at it across the board. They're the slightly worse team in terms of the just broad statistics, but the stats say that the Reds, the pitching matchup favors the Reds. Give me Cincinnati to win this game. It might be a little bit of an upset pick, but the fact that it's certified gold star makes me absolutely love it. So I think that's 2 wins. Boom, boom, right off the bat. One of them is an upset. I love it. We're already seeing some value. And then from there, we're going to move to Los Angeles Dodgers, going to Colorado, taking on the Rockies. Rockies plus 190. Total set at 11.5. That's such a high total. It's also worth being said that in games played in the Mile High City, The over has hit just 50% of the time, I think, because of the total normally being set so high. It's just so hard to hit it. But the air's lighter there. The ball travels a little bit more home runs. The Dodgers are a power hitting team. They're really good. Granted, they haven't necessarily lived up to the very, 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 very lofty expectations, but they're 45-27. And kicker, Clayton Kershaw is starting tonight. Give me the Dodgers every single day, 15 times on Sunday. The Dodgers minus 210 provides some great value. It's much like the Yankees Athletics game we broke down yesterday. While the number was large, there was still value there in favor of the Yankees. The number is large, but there's still value in terms of the Dodgers. Our power line likes this to be more like minus 223, and you can get Los Angeles at minus 210. Rockies won yesterday in game one of the series 4-0, and you're not going to see the Dodgers get blanked a lot this season. The Rockies are, though, 3-1 against the Dodgers this season. However, in Colorado over the last 3 years, Los Angeles is 29-19. So overall, if you use a very large sample, the Dodgers have the edge. If you use a very small sample, the Rockies have the edge. And I think that's going to kind of show itself tonight. I think the large sample will come into it, and the Dodgers are going to sweep the floor with the Rockies. Kershaw's 2-1 with a 2 flat ERA. And last time out, he struck out 7 in 6 innings pitched, allowed just 1 run. Kyle Freeland gets to start for the Rockies. He's 3-5 with a 4.29 ERA. He's not a big strikeout pitcher, averages just 3.7 Ks per game. And if you're telling me the Dodgers are going to get a lot of contact in a hitter-friendly ballpark, I'm going to love the Dodgers. They're batting 251 this season, 327 on base percentage, and a 423 slugging. They've hit 86 home runs so far this season. I love the Dodgers in this spot. Pair that with the fact they're 8-0 straight up after scoring 1 or less runs in a game. Dodgers minus 210. There's value there, and I can sleep well at night after this first pitch is at 8:40 p.m. I'll check the score before I go to bed. I'll be happy. I'll be sleeping like a baby because this is going to be the certified lock of the game. Granted, the Reds was the certified gold star. I think Dodgers Rockies are the certified lock of the day. Not big time value, great value. Big time spot. Dodgers bounce back after losing 4-0. Give me that all day. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So now we're going to move to our featured free game of the day. Our featured free game of the day today is Astros at Mets. Mets plus 110 for tonight. First pitch, 7:10 p.m. Eastern on TBS. The Astros come into this one 5-5 against the spread with the day off. Meanwhile, the Mets 11-2 after a day off. They're the only team that not only are they above 500 when they're playing with a day off, they dominate coming off of a day off. I love that. And for that and one other stat, they're 8-0 this season coming off of a loss to a division rival. Pair those two things together, I'm all over Mets plus 110 in this one. And let me tell you why. Carlos Carrasco, he got beat up last time he went out on the bump. He played the Astros. He got pulled. They lost the game. Let me see. He's 3 interleague starts. His last one came against the Astros. He got absolutely lit up, and he has 11.12 ERA. But that is such a high ERA because he got hit around. So, his last outing, there's no sugarcoating. It was bad. But he left that game with an injury, a back injury, and he was questionable to start today. So if he's healthy, I think he has a great bounce back game here against the Astros. I think last game was at Houston. This one's in New York at Citi Field. So I think there's a lot of value there. I think people might be discrediting Carlos Carrasco because of his last outing. And Luis Garcia, his last 3, his ERA is 5.28. Over the season, it's a 3.55 with a 5-5 record. One of the not as strong starters on this Astros rotation. I think Carlos Carrasco will bounce back here, and he'll put together a solid 5-6 innings of work and give the Mets a chance to be in this game. Pair that with the fact Michael Brantley is questionable, and that's one of the biggest bats in the lineup for the Astros. I love the Mets. Both teams outscore their opponents by 0.9 runs per game, so just a hair under 1 run a game. Houston, though, has thrived this season against great teams, 11-1 straight up against anyone that outscores their opponents by half a run or more. So that's in favor of Houston. But everything else I just said, the fact that the Mets know how to use a day off and they bounce back and they play extremely well after a day off, pair that with the fact that they bounce back from a division loss really well, pair that with the fact Michael Brantley is questionable, Carlos Carrasco's a go after exiting last game he pitched against the Astros with an injury. There's absolutely no value on the Astros, right? There's value on the Mets. Do I think the Mets win? Yeah, of course. At plus 110, plus 105, wherever you can lock in this bet at DRF Sportsbook, I believe it's plus 105 now after coming down a little bit from plus 110. I think there's value there. I think the Mets can win this game. The Mets, like the Yankees, are one of the best teams in the league, and so are the Astros. They're both, just 27 losses, 45 plus wins. They're good. They're good teams. There's just no juice on the Astros. There's juice on the Mets. They're the home team. It's a home game. Give me the Mets in this one to win. Houston does hit a lot of home runs, but they have a worse average, a worse on-base percentage, and just a slightly higher slugging percentage. So while the Mets aren't getting home runs, they are still keeping pace in the slugging percentage column with doubles, extra base hits, everything like that. And the fact the Mets can manufacture runs without having to rely heavily on the long ball. Give me Mets plus 105. Our Sims like this game 4-4, so no real edge. Our power line favors the Astros a bit, but because of that Sim being 4-4 and I can get value on the Mets in a spot they have thrived all season, I'm going to go with the Mets. Boom. I love this pick. And like I said, Luis Garcia gets the start for the Astros. Carlos Carrasco gets the start for the Mets. So that is our featured free game of the day. Mets plus 110. Love it. Boom. Book it. So after yesterday's 3-1 record, we're trying to bounce back with another good day, another great day. We have one certified gold star pick. We have one certified lock, and we have two picks I feel really confident about. We're sitting at 24-19 overall. And today, here are our bets. Philly, minus 115 against the Braves. Reds, plus 100 at Wrigley Field against the Cubs. Certified gold star pick. Dodgers, minus 210 at the Rockies after getting shut out last night. Clayton Kershaw gets the start. Dodgers are going to come back with a vengeance. You can't keep this Dodgers offense down for long, especially in Colorado, especially at Coors Field. And then last but certainly not least, our featured free game of the day. You can find all of this information, drf.com/sports. Click the free game of the day tab up at the top of this webpage, and you can find all of this information, including our written breakdown by Mike Smith on this game and two other best bets that he gives out. You can find this breakdown on YouTube, everything like that. We're going Mets plus 110. It's come down to plus 105 against the Astros. There's no value on the Astros. Maybe I'm being a little aggressive in that. Michael Brantley's questionable. I have faith in Carlos Carrasco, even though he's performed terribly in interleague, but that's because of his injury last time out where he got lit up by the Astros. So give me Mets plus 10. I think that is a fantastic value pick. Dodgers minus 210. That's the lock of the day. And you might be saying, well, yeah, no, of course it's the lock of the day. They're minus 210. They should win, right? Yeah, you're right. But you still sweat some bets. Am I right? Come on. So I think today is a 4-0 day. And I say that every single time. But I'll take a 3-1 day and keep this week going. We were 3-1 yesterday. Let's keep it locked. Let's keep it going. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the DRF Sports Daily. We'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Follow us on Twitter at DRF_sports. Like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitch. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Let's win some bets. All right.